Oh, good morning, people. Hope everyone's well. Oh, you join me on a Monday. It is, I don't know, nearly the end of March already. It's crazy. So, as you can see, I'm back in my little pit. When I say little, it's definitely smaller than the last one I was driving. So, van update. Oh, it's laughable, really. Only advice I can give you, I would say don't buy a van from Ford. But to be honest, every van that I've bought is shocking. Not the van itself, but I think the sales service and after sales and things like that have been pretty shit. It's the easiest way to say it. I'm hoping this is going to be a lot clearer and a little bit better as well. We've changed the phone, so but that's not what we're here for. So the van, it took them 4 weeks to organise and sort me out a van, then bring me that big ass high top Transit with no ply lining in the back, and get this van back to me. I was talking to him all the way through. In fact, actually, give him his dues. Although it wasn't the best communication, it was better than the first lot of communication that I got from the guy. But when he turned up, with the biggest smile on his face, opened the back doors and goes, "Oh, look at this, isn't it shiny and new?" And I just looked at him and laughed. So, apparently, I'm only going on what his guy has said. So apparently, they've checked for that noise. They can't hear anything, but I can still hear it rolling around. And the only way to describe it is a set of bearings or gears in oil that I know is going to fail at some point, but clearly not enough to either warrant them changing it or for them to be bothered by it. That is still there. They have changed the front wheels, the front tyres, and it's funny enough. He said to me on the email, we changed the tyres and it stopped drifting to the left. Like, fucking hallelujah. You know, Jesus Christ. The first person that drove this would have noted it was drifting to the left. But that's still doing it. So it was talking shite. So they changed the front tyres. Cheap as chips, but they're still changed. What do you expect? They've plugged the roof. They've actually done that properly. They've actually put the proper plugs in. Well, I say proper plugs. They look like the proper plugs. They don't. It doesn't leak no more. So that's a bonus. What else was wrong with this ruddy van? Oh, the door handle. I don't know what it is. He said in his email, I thought he'd said he's going to change the handle because he's been given permission to change the handle. But what he said actually was, he's been given the permission to change the handle if it starts falling apart. Well, there's an issue with it. So it's already falling apart. So why don't you just fucking change it? It's just like, what's the point? I was watching a video the other day, and it was like, it's a farming video, like a smallholder in America. And he made a valid point of saying we're on the race to the bottom. No one's willing to put the effort in, and everyone wants everything for cheap, and nobody wants to pay anything really. And it just spirals down where, you know, the quality and everything else just goes out the window just purely for the fact that everybody wants it at a certain price and doesn't want to pay for it. And that is exactly the same. He could save himself a lot of hassle, or they could, should I say, not just him. They could save themselves a lot of hassle if they checked all the van, made sure everything was running right, sent it out in a decent condition, and not have it come back, and not having me borrow the van, and them not have to repair the van because I've just not destroyed it, but scratched the shit out of it. It's just, it baffles me, absolutely baffles me. The ply lining that they destroyed, Jesus Christ. So he opened the back up, pleased as punch, and looked at him and went, "You're having a laugh, aren't you?" And you'll see why I'm laughing in a minute. He's like, "Why? What's wrong? It's changed." I was like, "Who the freaking hell did that?" I'm going to try and stop swearing. I managed to not swear while talking to him, actually, so he couldn't say I was being abusive. My God. So he sent me a message saying they brought the wrong kit for the wrong shape. Right, so obviously I'm in a new shape Vivaro. And I looked at it and I was like, "Mate, are you blind?" He went, "Well, I don't know how to put it in, do I?" I was like, "Mate, look." I was like, my God. So what they have done, they've taken a ply liner out, And that is it. They've taken a ply lining out and they just put the new one on top of it. And I don't actually think it's the right kit, because he did say to me they brought the wrong kit for this van. They brought the olds down, not the news down. I think I just said that anyway. I just opened the door and I went, mate, look at it. He's like, what? I'm like, they've not even taken the old screws out. He's like, what? I was like, look at the ply lining. It's split in places. And don't know where it, obviously you, to make the most out of a sheet of wood, they know obviously on a CNC machine, when they do it, they'll get so many pieces of whatever out of each piece of wood. And then they fit it together in the van. And that only works if you take the screws out or it's level. So what they've done, where it, you'll see in a minute in this video, but the seam that goes down that way and the seam that goes across, they've left the screws in, so it doesn't, it's not flush, it's like that. It's like the bloody ocean. And then they've realised once they put the ply lining down that they hadn't taken it out. So rather than just take the ply lining back out, take the screws out and actually clean underneath, because they haven't cleaned underneath, they've just put extra screws in, or moved the screw so it'll go down and stay down. It's like, are you honestly telling me that a professional company's come out and done this? And it was like, yeah, we've changed company because the other company was no good. And this company is? He must, I tell you what, I don't think he's ever come across someone like me. Because I'll just tell him what it is. Maybe my autism or whatever. I don't know if I've got autism, I'm just taking the piss. Because, like, I was just like, a blind man would be happy to see it. But even he could see there's fucking issues of it. It's just like, there's no point getting angry. I'm still keeping the van, because at the end of the day, the price I'm paying for this van is less than what I would be paying for the same van a year younger and twice, if not 3 times as many miles on it. So it's still, even if I have to do the things to it, it's still a reasonably priced van. But for God's sake, it was a joke. It was just like, I've actually looked up the company that he told me that fitted this. Now, Googling plytek, right, it comes up with 2 companies. Now, you get this all the time, where there'll be a successful company out there and they'll have a really good name for themselves. So if you Google plytek, the first one is in their first opening statement is, we are like the UK's premier installer of electrics and ply lining and stuff like that. And it's a really nice fancy van and it's really good. And then you go down to the next one, which I think they've used. It's just a one page website, literally just says we do ply lining in different things. And if you look at the URL, it is virtually the same. The only thing they've changed is it's just the way it is. So like the font has changed. So the cheaper companies put it in capitals and silly things like that, and put a hyphen between ply and tech rather than the other guys haven't. And I think they've used them. They were from Port Talbot in Wales, and the other place, I can't remember where the other place is, either top end or bottom end of the UK. And I'm just like, fucking hell, if that is them, it's ridiculous. But you know, what can I do? There's no point getting angry. There's no point getting upset. It's just laugh. It's just laughable. You know, my advice, if you ever get in a van, is just put a deposit down. Okay. Wait till they deliver the van before you pay full price for it. Make sure everything is okay. Because in fact, I think the only reason I got things done to this van was, he even sent me an email. If anybody wants me to prove any of this, I can prove it, because everything I've from the first initial 3 weeks. Well, actually no, from the first week actually, I started making. I've started sending emails rather than phone calls. Although their phone calls are recorded, they hold it. Whereas if I send an email, everything I've got a copy basically. If they delete it their side, that's fine. I've still got a copy. I've got everything in writing. And he even said to me, that was what I was trying to get to. He even said, look, the service centre, the service team, and us want to get this sorted because we need to get it finished by the end of the month, because we need to meet our targets. So I think the only reason I got this sorted out was because they needed to meet their targets. It's fucking ridiculous. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do one of 2 things. I'm either, if I've still got the footage, the last The last video I actually did, I didn't upload it for one of two reasons. One, because my phone was broke, and because the camera was broke, it wouldn't let me open the camera, and it wouldn't let me upload to YouTube for some random reason. And the quality of it was really bad. I did it off the wife's phone. The wife's phone is the exact same phone as I've been using for the last year and a half. So I don't know why the quality of it was really bad. But I'll do one of two things. I'm just around the corner from the job. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning now. I'm just around the corner from the job, so I'll probably empty the van and show you it. Or if I've got that old footage and I think it's all right, then we'll go from there. But look, it's 10 minutes already. This is ridiculous. Me ranting, raving. It's ridiculous. I've got about just shy of 400 square yards of scarifying to do today. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to tell you in another video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers, guys. Okay, guys. So while the van's empty, I'm just loading. I've got a bag half in and half out of this truck, so I thought I'd redo this video. Now, you can't see it. The sun's in around. It looks quite nice. But this is the sort of thing I'm talking about, right? So if you can see that, that's just going to be a pain in the bum for me. So see this line here, look. Nope, this line here. See if you can see it. So look, there's a nice big crack there. I don't know if you can see it. So what they've done is they've left both screws in, because I've taken this off to see what it was like underneath and make sure that they hadn't put anything bigger than an inch into here, because I think I can just imagine them thinking, bugger it, I'll stick bigger screws in just to hold it down. But this, it's all the way along. I don't know if you can see that. It's all the way along. It's like two people have fitted this van. So if you look in this corner, it's nicely rounded, it fits to there. Comes to this corner, it's like, can't be arsed. So let me just walk you through the van, because that's why I'm going to do it. Somebody can tell me this, but I don't think that should be exposed. That bit there should be exposed. They've just cut around it. I could be wrong. But every van that I've seen or owned, literally it just covers everything. Now bear in mind, this is a professional company. Yet again, this is exactly the same. This is the left, screws in like that, where it joins. We haven't overdone this one. The sun's going to be a right pain in the bum. As you can see, rounded off, rounded off, and in this corner it doesn't fit, so it's bowed and set on the wall. I'm hoping you can see this really. Yet again, this bit as well, a friend of mine says to me there should be a black cover on that. Obviously they're not going to replace that, but you know, I thought the ply lining would come across it. Personally, it's just, you know, and up here, look, they've not fitted it flush. It don't fit in, and that's why this screw is out, because there's just so much pressure on it that, you know, it just pulls the screw out. And when you look at this one here, I'm going to try and stay in here. Can you see? It meets at the top, not in the corner. They've stuck. Hang on. It doesn't meet in this corner. It's sat at the top there, and as it goes along, it goes down, and they've had to recut it. And this is the sort of thing that I'm talking about, where they've stuck a screw in, didn't really quite meet, so they've stuck two either side of it. Same as here. I hope you can see that. They realised that that wouldn't go down with a screw in there, or it just didn't bite, so they moved it and put it here. Yeah. Alrighty guys, I'm just going to add a little quick note onto the bottom of this video, or the end of this video. Just like to take the moment to thank everyone for watching, subscribing and liking the video, because you're going to do that because you're absolutely amazing bunch of people. Now, what you got to understand is I'm not whinging or moaning just for the sheer shits and giggles, right? And yes, they've changed the ply lining. It's all I asked them to do, because they had destroyed the last lot. All right, it is literally just me pointing out what a shit show of it is. Now, from start to finish, me buying this van, it's not been plain sailing, let's put it that way. Yes, things come up, yes, things do go wrong, and yes, things do take time, and it is all a process, and yes, fair play, I had to wait 2 weeks for them to bring me a van and vice versa and to fix my van. And yes, I know everybody's going to stand there and go, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to kick the fuck off. And all that. Like, I was very tempted in the beginning just to say, get lost and go park the van in their drive and stuff like that. But all I'm trying to point out is we're on a race to the bottom. And literally, if a company charges, and obviously I don't know how much they got charged or how much they got paid for doing this or whatever, right? They could have done it as cheap as possible, which they're going to do, aren't they? Let's face it. They're going to pick the company that gives them the best price. It's not always going to be the best quality, but I just want to point out, it's just like the lads that did this, or girls, I haven't got a clue who's done this. Surely they should have had an ounce of respect or respect for themselves, or at least some, you know. I was going to stop doing this work, this job, because my heart wasn't in it, and I didn't like to do a half-hearted job. I didn't want to stick my name on a job that was like, you know, this is me and this is what I'm going to do, and, you know, fuck it, I don't care what it looks like because I'm going to get paid at the end of the day anyway. So, you know, I was going to stop. I had a bit of a change of heart, and I've changed things up with my business. I'm going to go into that in a bit more detail in another video. So I am happier doing the job or doing the jobs that I am doing rather than, yeah, there we go. Anyway, the point of it being is they've got a professional company in, which is called Plytek. Now, like I said, there was 2 companies out there called the same thing. I don't know which one it was, but whoever did it needs to look at their lasses and think, we need to get rid of them. Because if that's what they're representing me, and if that's what they're doing, then it makes the company look bad. I'm hoping I'm coming across all right. I'm just trying to spit my words out. Yeah, so short and curlers are, don't buy a van from Ford and don't use Plytek for ply lining. I've not heard anything from Ford well, I'm not going to hear anything from Plytek, am I? Because they don't care. They've got the money and gone. I'm still actually waiting. It's funny talking about Ford. One of the other reasons why this van got moved on so quickly is because when I phoned up to complain, I left Finnegan a message to say, get your arse into gear, let me know what's going on. And then the guy that I was speaking to, I asked for either the complaints department or the area manager, and he wouldn't give me the numbers. And I said, it's all right, because I'll just Google it. I'll find out that way, it's easier. And I had to explain to him again what was going on and stuff like that. And he actually told me that he's going to get his business partner to phone me. Now, I'm assuming that the reason he hasn't phoned me is because the other guy kicked Finnegan up the arse, got him working, got things, you know, moving along. And the guy would think, well, he's got his van coming back in a couple of weeks. He'll be all right. Don't need to phone him. But even just a phone call, just a courtesy call, just to say, look, mate, I understand you're having issues. We're on it. We're doing the best we can. Let me know if you've not heard anything from one of the other guys in the next week or 2. That's all it takes, isn't it? You know, I'm not that bothered, you know. It's just the fact that if I did something wrong, like I've done before, I've gone back and fixed it. You know, if it wasn't right, you know, I'd go and fix it. Right, unless they were taking a piss. There is one job that I've been back to 3 or 4 times, and they've just phoned me to go back again. The last time I went, I was like, took a labourer with me because it was going to be a 2-day redo. And when I got there, I was like, what's wrong with it? You know, it's just like general maintenance. Anyway, that's another video anyway. That'd be a customer rant. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is if I'd done something wrong or something didn't work that I'd fitted, say gates, they're notorious for moving and stuff like that. If somebody called me and said, mate, the gate's not quite working right, can you come and have a look at it? Yeah, no problems. I'll come sort it out for you, mate. You know, it's just one of them things, isn't it? I'm going, it's another 5 minutes. This fucking thing's going to be like 20 minutes long. I'll see you guys on the next one.